It's unanswered points time and stuff, and thank you very much for singing that and stuff. That was going to be his actual custom intro, which we may introduce next week.
For a full hour.
That is Doug. I am Brian. This is Unanswered Points version 2. This is our second time. Not really version 2, but
2.0.
We're actually holding it for the second week in a row, which I never fucking would have thought would have happened with you dressed up in your uniform and coming early for some din-din. Thanks for making it happen. Way to come to work.
Not a problem. Thank you for feeding me. Thank you, Christine.
Absolutely. That is my wife, and we're coming to you live from the Freshwood Studios as always, and by always I mean for the second time in 2 weeks. This is the second podcast of Brutally Honest Philly Sports Talk. It's uncensored, for those who don't know, based on my capitalization on YouTube and whatnot.
Wood, how the fuck are you?
I'm doing great. Way to start off with a bang, pal. Last week you were a little schoolgirl. Now all of a sudden you're gonna pop and weave. Is that something?
Pop and weave.
Yeah. Is that like a?
Where do you hear that at?
Speaking of popping and weaving, this episode will be dedicated to the final regular season game of the Sixers.
Yeah.
Or no. Hence the intro. We're going orange and black, baby, all day, hour.
Whole show, orange and black, dedicated to them making the playoffs.
Now, this very well may branch out in other directions, like almost every other conversation we've ever had.
Yeah, but that's going to be the plan, orange and black, the whole show.
That's my caveat right there. This is the plan. All right? So stick with it. If we waver, fuck off. All right? Okay? So we're going to do exactly what we did last week, hopefully a little bit more polished. And fresh as Winston from some Crown Royale, I believe. So that's how we start this shit. Twitter. All right? We're getting to 6 followers all of a sudden. By this time next week, we want double dig. Twitter is at UnansweredPts. Okay? Let's follow that shit if you're on there. Facebook.com/unanswered.points. UnansweredPoints at Gmail. And newly introduced, I'm sorry, UnansweredPts at Gmail. And newly introduced as of yesterday, we are on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Just search Unanswered Points. Just listen to it on there, actually. It's probably the numero uno. He was pointing at the soundboard. What do you want me to do?
We needed something there. Hello, we're on YouTube, and we're just going to keep going monotone like this because we're on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We did need something there.
Yeah,
so,
we did.
Yeah, so we're on YouTube now. Just search it, click it, bop it. Right?
Twist it.
No.
Pull it.
So we got the orange and the black starting up tomorrow night. Right now, as we speak, Montreal Tampa tied up at 1 to start off the very first game of these 2014 NHL Playoffs.
How you feeling? How you feeling about Game 1?
Well, you know what's funny? These Wednesdays, man, they come quick. I'll be honest. Preparation isn't my strong side,
Okay.
and we haven't really. I mean, me and you barely have talked since last Wednesday.
Yeah,
and,
it's been a hectic week.
We were winging this. So for those who might think, like last week when I said Drew probably had between 60 or 70 points, yeah, he had like 84. So shit like that's going to happen. But how am I feeling? Is that what you were saying?
How are you feeling about Game 1? How are you feeling? What is your overall?
Well, I'll tell you, based on what we talked about last week, I'm a little nervous wreck there, Chief.
Whoa. A little nerve is a lot different than being a nervous wreck.
Yeah, that's true.
So, confidence level, I mean, what are you looking at?
Well, I mean, we did this 1 through 10,
We did.
1 through a million.
Okay, but now we're on the eve of the first game, so
You know what's weird? It's going to sound
get a
weird.
little bit more pumped sometimes.
I'm big time pumped, and you know what comes with pumped is confidence. You know, I'm a lot more confident now because I'm just giddy. And I think that, Razor's starting tomorrow. Your thoughts there, Steve Mix?
I'm sorry?
Razor, huh?
I was listening today. I definitely heard that Mason's not making the trip.
Oh, wait. He's not making a trip at all? Not 1 or 2?
He's not making what I heard. He's not going to be making the trip. Therefore, he will not be playing in Game 1.
Or 2?
Just Game 1 is what I heard.
What don't you fucking understand?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find out here.
So
Pertinent info.
it's only New York there, buddy. So it's not a long drive in case they even for
Fuck
Game
them.
2. So thoughts?
And prayers.
Never really been an Emery guy, I got to tell you. I hope that he can just find lightning in a bottle till we can get Mason back. And we are still classifying Mason's injury as upper body. And that is one thing about hockey which
that's
I
annoying.
cannot stand.
That's
and,
really
I mean,
pitiful.
just you fantasy football players out there.
Fantasy farts?
Fantasy farts. Fantasy fart league?
All my farts are fantasies.
Okay. So, I hate that.
Poo.
Cannot stand that about hockey. I love hockey to death, but when you're telling me he's got a lower body or an upper body injury, I would really like to know if he's got a concussion or not.
Normally, the NFL is the most vague league in the world. In the injury column, or at least injury reports, NHL beats them.
Yes, they absolutely do.
You either have an upper or lower body, and that's it.
Bill Belichick beats them all.
Be small. So, I actually did hear Razor. Go for it. What do you got?
Up. Yeah, so I kind of see him losing game one, to tell you the truth. I love him. And
You're more confident than I am about the series, and you think they're going to lose game one?
I kind of do, yes.
That's like funky prediction time.
I think, here's the thing. I think they're going to split in New York. I just think that they're not going to come out for game one like they should.
Are you a big believer of the
I think they're going to come out flat.
Split as a road team means you're in control?
No.
It depends if you win game two.
No. I don't think... Was that a soundbite or was that you?
Actually, I just yelled racial slurs, and that was our beep over.
Aha!
Yeah, so that was about 10 seconds of me screaming it.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they win game one, I'll be surprised. I'm not saying I think they're going to win the series in 6. That's my prediction. Okay, but I really think they're going to come out flat.
It's like a weird.
Yeah, I know.
You got going on
it's just it's really what I feel though. It's what I really think is going to happen in my head. I think that the Rangers are going to come out and they're going to beat us by 2 or 3 goals in game one. And it hurts me to say that, but that's my honest opinion here. I'm not just sitting here being a homer because I'm a Flyers fan, and
You're
that's
sitting
what
there
I
being
think.
a homo.
Homo.
You sound like a gay.
You fuck you. So
See, I'm a man, baby. How do you feel about your general instincts in general as a sports fanatic, if you will? Do you feel like maybe you're kind of, people make predictions. Some people, if you're asinine and don't know the sport,
yes,
you know the sport of hockey very well.
Yes, as do you.
Have you had a good history of picking Flyers playoffs in the past, as far as the feel?
Mostly, yeah. I'll tell you that I have.
Okay.
Even the Pittsburgh series that we fucking
2 years
sent
ago?
them home 2 years ago.
When it was just like 8 to 10, 8 to. Why am I going backwards?
Oh
10 to
my
8.
God.
No,
Dude, I had such
7
a
to 3.
good feeling about that series. And
Destroyed them 9-8.
you hear people talk about how scared they are about the Penguins and Malkin and Crosby's and they any later lines can score and blah blah blah. And I don't know. I was fine with it. I didn't really have a problem. Now, I will say though that when they played Chicago in the finals, I thought they were just gonna manhandle them.
You thought we would?
Oh yeah,
Really?
really.
Wow.
I wasn't good. I'm not saying it was going to be a cakewalk to the cup, but that year just seemed like destiny.
We have a top 3. We have the 3 coming up later that might have a couple of those players on it. So
it possibly could, but I mean seriously, you're telling me that you're sitting here in that year when they were going into game one, you weren't thinking to yourself, this just feels like it's going to happen.
And as my man McCatch would say, not to be a dick, but no, I felt high as shit because I remember watching that with Boomhow after we beat the Canadians coming to town, because that was a 7-8 matchup to see who could go to the Cup Finals. Now remember,
Yep.
Chicago I think was 1 or 2, or no, they might have been 3, but nevertheless we were 7, and we just ate dinner, and we played them. I didn't think we had that good of a chance because of their offensive arsenal, and it turned out that wasn't that big of a deal, but it's always been with the Flyers over history, and still to this day, the number one thing we needed. Now the goaltender's always been in flux, there it is.
Capacity.
We've always needed that one extra D-man, and Pronger was for that year, and it got us to the finals. Now if we would have had any other goalie besides Leighton, we could have won that series very well. But we had Pronger then. Now that's what we need now. If we would have signed Shea Weber to that contract 2 years ago, I think we're where we need to be. I think we're the Bruins of this year, all that jazz.
Well, if you remember, it wasn't really a Flyer thing on the Shea Weber deal.
Oh, no.
Nashville matched it.
Yeah, no, I know that.
That was it.
No, we signed him to start the whole ball rolling,
Exactly.
and then Poily, whatever his
Yep.
name is. He matched it up, but
You know who you're talking to?
I don't know his name. The whole thing of it. So, but yeah, I think you put Shea Weber on this team, and I guarantee you we're in the top 2 seeds, top 3 seeds.
I remember hearing that news too, thinking, "Oh my God, we're gonna get Shea Weber."
Well, it was a dick tease. You know what the biggest dick tease? And I know we're making this in orange and the black, but hey, we go off here. Tangent. Remember when we traded for Roy Halladay?
Yes.
And that was probably the greatest 6 minutes of my life until right after that, we then traded Cliff Lee.
Yes.
So that's what that shit's like. You know, it's you get you get so excited and so happy, and then all of a sudden just get fucking torn out of your goddamn heart.
Well,
Or chest, I
Again,
guess,
we're
or-
going off on tangents here, but
I'm going off on cosines.
because what were you thinking before Cliff Lee was traded? What were you thinking when you got Halladay?
Well, I thought we're gonna do this again this year
Okay, why were you thinking that though?
because we had the 2 best pitchers in the game.
Okay, there you go. And you
Ah.
thought that our pitching was going to be just historic, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
4
So
aces were a bunch of shit.
so tangent again.
Too late.
A lot of people you hear talking right now last few weeks about the whole okay, well, we signed Cooper. Okay.
Well, yep.
We signed Macklin.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now you got Darren Sproles coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You got the absolute best running back in the league. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely correct.
Okay, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's from
I'm hearing people just say, "Oh, I would have loved to have seen what this offense would have been like with Deshaun Jackson. Oh, we would have been able to compete for the most points of all time, which the Broncos set." And I'm thinking to myself,
Who cares?
who cares is right.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You know what's funny about that?
What is funny?
Going into last season, when Macklin was healthy and coming off a better year than Deshaun, if you would have polled anybody, Eagles fan, who is the better overall wide receiver, Jeremy Macklin would have won 70-30 on that.
And
Now we have Macklin instead of Deshaun Jackson.
Yep.
Everyone thinks that the fucking world just turned over.
and all of a sudden the whole Chip Kelly is God phenomenon
It's gone.
is absolutely gone.
And now I think he's God finally because he's the only coach in the history of the world that says, you know what, I don't want bullshit. I mean, sure, he might be. Everybody loves him, though. I mean, he might be a dick, but
I wasn't sold on him at the start, but I think
I sure wasn't.
I love a guy like that.
Me
You know?
too.
He's
I love Larry Boa.
He's like a Bill Cowher Jr. almost.
Bill Cowher, Larry Boa. People who demand respect.
Oh my God, I love it. I love
That's
it.
how you coach. I mean, I know Charlie won a championship. But you know what? That was just.
He had the
he
right
might be
group of players to
yeah.
be that type of a.
He might be the
of a-
worst
a
manager
Charlie,
to ever win a
grandfather to
championship.
everybody.
What a total.
That's what Jimmy Rollins played hard for him, because that's the type of manager that Jimmy Rollins wanted to play
Yep.
for.
Yep.
And now you got all this beat bullshit coming out with Sandberg and Rollins and I mean, I don't know. It depends. You can't always blame the coach for people not producing, for your team not producing.
Well,
you can't always do it. I'm not saying you.
No, I know.
can't do it
I
at
know.
all.
I got you. But the thing about the Phillies now is we know who's to blame. Sandberg's got to pass for a couple of years, I think. I mean, there's just one total D-bag that's running this fucking ship right into the bottom of the ocean.
Back to Flyers, Rangers.
Seriously,
question
told
for
you.
I have a question-
Shit happens
question
here,
for you.
man.
Question
Pay
for you.
attention. Okay.
Are you listening?
Kind of.
So, what is your prediction for this series?
It's Rangers in 7. What a total asshole. It's a Philly Sports Podcast. I know.
Mother.
Here's the deal.
I didn't even see
this
that coming.
Series,
I'm sitting next to this faggot.
This series, I am
You
not.
sound like a gay.
Well, I'm happy. This series reeks. And you know what? I don't mind saying all that. And then we win. And then people go, hey, asshole. That'd be great. A win-win for me. You're in a win-lose sitch right now.
Yeah, but if that happens, you're no longer allowed to speak Flyers.
Well, let's
after
put it this way.
round
If
one.
it happens, I'm not going to sit here and boast. I'm not Tony Bruno.
No,
That dude.
I'm saying if the Flyers win, you can't talk about the Flyers in round 2 or 3 or
Cool.
the Stanley Cup Finals.
No, get the
Yeah,
French
fuck
out of
you.
here.
You counted them out in round 1.
We're making $8,000 a week doing this podcast, and I can't.
And by 8,000, he means 3 cents.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got it. That's an incorrect statement. This series reeks of Tampa Bay Flyers '04, where I have a feeling that we're going to win Game 6 down 3-2 in the series in a funky way, or just in a hype way, and really put the pressure on them going back. And then I think Lundqvist shuts the door because we don't have the shutdown goalie, but they do. By the way, Lundqvist, his playoff record isn't that good. And you know what about Razor? You know what I heard today?
What year today?
His career against the Rangers. What do you think his career W and L's are?
7-2-0.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Is that correct?
I hit the absolute wrong button.
Absolutely.
You are absolutely correct.
Goddamn right.
You
I
must
am.
have been listening to radio the same time I was.
Maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just know shit.
John Jackson's ass got a little fat. So,
By the way, 7-2-0. Don't get me wrong, but the last number on that record doesn't mean shit in the playoffs anyway.
yeah, I was just going to say 7-2. I don't know what the fuck
He
you're
was
talking
7-2
about,
and 123. I really don't care that he lost 123 overtime games with the
especially when
Rangers.
it came in a shootout, which
cares?
don't matter in real hockey.
Exactly.
That's why this is the best time of the year. It's called real fucking G's or hockey.
Where your team decides the win or the lost,
Right.
not three guys.
Wait, the win or the
Lost.
show, the lost? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. So I have Rangers at 7. I do. I'm sorry. It's just
Okay, MVP of the series.
of the series. See, now because the Rangers won, I have to be all, but if it goes 7, unless it's Czechmonic style where it's like 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, I like Jake in this series, to be honest with you. MVP for the Flyers, or for the series overall?
In the series overall.
I'm not giving a Ranger. Come on. I'm not doing that. I just think I think it's a hard matchup. I think we put them to the test. I think goaltending and defense really rules. You know what Giroux's done against the Rangers this year?
What has he done?
Bupkis, all right? Don't know what that means, but it's not good. I think
Okay.
he's got like 1 point in 4 games this year against
Well-
them. Maybe we played that more than
Well,
one
I
time.
also like Jake in the series, and I actually believe he is our MVP of the series.
All right.
I do.
Is that why your ears went up when I said that?
I think Giroux holds his own. Calvier holds his own, but
Well, if Jake's an MVP, Giroux's going to have an okay series.
absolutely.
He's going to be the one fucking setting him up.
But Hartnell has an okay series, but
Hard cock.
it'll be Voracek.
Yeah.
He will be our RJ Umberger, if you will, of the
Ooh.
Montreal
Hopefully it doesn't
series.
get laid out over the blue line.
No, I'm not really thinking that, but you know what I'm talking about.
I got you. What's going on with Vinny to you? You like him on the 4th? Because it's happening. It's working. Now you got... who the fuck Atkinson? This cat's going to play on the second line.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wearing my number, too.
I saw that 42.
Yeah, wearing my Jackie Robinson number. It's not for
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson, if I would have known that.
No, he's white.
I am white. But I'm also right. What is it?
It's snowing, baby! I'm a snowflake!
Snow's white.
That's what the... Oh! That's why I did it, I think.
I just saved your ass. So, we'll see. Remember you got Ronaldo coming back too now.
That's what I said, Zach.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
All right. The C is like a CK. So is it going to be Vinny between Ronaldo and Hall again?
I don't know.
I just-
no idea. But I do like Vinny on the 4th line. Not.
Why do we have Atkinson with Shen and Simmer, right? Shen's going to be the center. I mean, everyone's thinking 4th line is working. Don't mess with good shit. And I understand that. But what if you put Vinny in between Simmer and Shen? Now, I know your 4th line's now going to be Hall, Ronaldo, and Atkinson, but it's the playoffs. They're supposed to play 8 minutes a game. You know what I mean?
What don't you
Okay.
fucking understand?
But when you're on the road and you're playing in New York, and New York gets the last line change, and they're putting their number 1 versus their number 4.
That doesn't have that much to do with it.
Really?
Now that I'm thinking about it. All right, so game 3, that motherfucker better be on the second line.
That's what I mean, though. You can mix them up a little bit, but I actually like that because it creates a little bit of a matchup issue. So when you are putting your 4th line out there, because you have to give your other 3 guys a rest, your other 3 lines a rest.
Yeah, I mean,
they put their number 1 out there, and you get a guy out there like Vinny who's decent at face-offs.
what's the most important game of a series, do you think? I mean, come on, there's only 7 answers.
Only 7 answers.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You know damn well it's most important to get that first W. Fucking
look,
put Vinny on the line 2 now, get the W, and then fuck with him and put him on the 4th.
I'll tell you what I think the most important game of the series is in any series. I don't think it's ever the first game of every series.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
You're going to say Game 3.
No.
Game 4.
I'm going to say the most important game of the series is the game which gives one of the teams or both of the teams a chance to get to 3 games.
You kidding me?
What do you mean?
To 3 wins in the series.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So if team's up 2-1 in the series, okay? It doesn't matter what team it is.
I got you. So
You get to 3-1, put a stranglehold on it. It's so hard. It's not impossible, and it happens. And it'll probably happen this year to some team. It's so hard to come back from 3-1. You know?
I know. But do you know the stats on? I mean, I know the stats are better 3-1 versus being 2-2, obviously, or what. But I mean that first game, just for momentum wise, I mean that's got to be at least 65-35. Winning game 1 in a series.
I wish I had the stats in front of me. I mean,
we don't have that kind of people.
The Flyers went.
We don't do that.
The year the Flyers went to the Cup, didn't they lose every single game 1 that year?
Are you talking about 2010?
Yes. Was it 20?
No, because we destroyed the Devils. We destroyed.
No,
Montreal.
you're right. It was.
We destroyed everybody that year.
No, I'm thinking of the wrong year. The Flyers, they lost like all 3 of their game 1s. I think it was when we won. Was it game when Lupul scored game 7 versus Caps?
Oh, it was Washington. That was when I was in Vegas. That was 08.
Yes, that's what it was.
That was 08.
We
lost to Pittsburgh.
And we lost to Pittsburgh. We lost to Pittsburgh game 1. We lost
to Pittsburgh in 6 that year.
Yes, we did. No, it was 5.
Was it 5?
Yes, because I was at the only game they won that year in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you were at the old clincher
we lost game 5 in
there.
Pittsburgh. It was like 6-0. I think is what we lost that game.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But yeah, they lost game 1 versus Montreal because Alexei Kovalev scored in overtime, like a minute and a half or 2 minutes in or something.
He was a Flyer killer.
You remember that, right?
That's gonna be fuck do I? That's gonna be a new top 3
Flyer killers
or just anybody killers because that's rolling off the top of my head right now like a motherfucker.
Okay, number 1 Philly killer because I got mine. Go.
There's been
Dan Ugla.
No, Craig Biggio.
All right, it's a good one too.
Yep.
Dan Ugla's not bad though.
Dan Ugla. Well, why? Because of the other night. That dude fucking.
No.
That dude's gay.
Dude.
It's a sausage competition.
Anyway, Flyers.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you got 2 smart guys. All right. So, Missanelli today on that station in here, he goes, right, this is the biggest fuck about all this shit, if you can read through the lines there.
I'm sorry.
You got,
repeat that. This is the biggest fuck of all that shit.
So, we have, that guy is saying, first of all, he puts down the Flyers because it grabs them, man. It grabs those heartstrings of those listeners. Mm-hmm. You know as well as I do, that fucker talks just to hear himself talk, and he says shit on purpose that he don't quite believe.
What are we getting at here?
So, today, all right, so all year, you know what he does? He makes fun of the Flyers fans. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You've heard it. And he likes to push the buttons. Today, what does he do? He gives his predictions. He thinks it's a fucking...
Cakewalk
and a half.
I heard him.
And then he thinks, now we got Pittsburgh next series. By the way, Columbus is up 1-0 in front of my eyes.
His exact lingo
Exacta? Oh, Len just shut off.
I wouldn't be feathered, is what he said.
Feathered?
Feathered, I swear it.
You sound like a gay.
I don't know what that means.
That's what I heard. That's what he said.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Feathered.
What does that mean? Like tarred and feathered? Like colonial times?
Flustered. I think he meant to mean flustered, but he said feathered.
So oh, okay.
It wouldn't fluster him at all.
Well, there you go. More lies from your local sports station. All right? And then today, I mean, if we're just going to do a little review of what's going on in actual Philly sports talk.
Because we're absolutely
we got a long
nothing.
way to go, my friend. These motherfuckers with their MET at 3 p.m. on that mandatory Eagles talk, dude, is fucking killing me.
Yep.
You know what? I mean, we do have a segment called The Option for something.
And they're reminding you, then 5 minutes, don't remember, it's time for the mandatory.
Here's what happens. Somebody calls up. Well, they start talking blatantly about Deshaun or Chip and how he's in control. And, hey, Calvin Pryor just did an interview with Joe Jehoshaphat on NFL Network.
Who?
And then and then they go,
Oh, good for you.
It's the wrong button, man. All right?
You're really bad at that.
I'm getting better. You know what I'm talking about?
Your finger's just fat or the button's just small?
No, it's both.
Okay.
WCF, mates.
So
Yeah,
he's
mate.
talking with him. Calvin Pryor's talking with him, and Calvin Pryor says that, and all of a sudden they just go off on. By the way, I got a real big bone to pick with Gargano on that. He said months ago, if they pick Pryor, I'm not happy. And now all of a sudden he's, hey, oh, Johnny #1 on that. But they're talking about that when they get on air, and then all of a sudden they talk Phillies for 4 minutes, and then they go, whoa. I mean, it doesn't matter if the Flyers start the playoffs tomorrow. Then after those 4 minutes, it goes, hey, you know what's coming up at 3 o'clock? Everything we just talked about. Like, you know,
Let me ask you
like
a
a
question.
normal fucking radio station.
Can you guarantee me the Eagles are going to make the playoffs this coming season?
I can guarantee. Well, I'm not going to say guarantee. I don't think that they do, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, that'll be a whole nother show.
Well, yeah, we got
But-
time. And you know why we won't talk about it now? Because it's fucking April.
Can you guarantee me that the Flyers are in the playoffs now?
Si, senora.
Can you?
Yeah.
Because they are. That's right.
That's right.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Playoffs?
Yes!
Playoffs.
You kidding me?
No, they're in there, baby. And they're starting. And, you know, I'm excited like a motherfucker because that's what we do. Especially, Flyers fans are most avid. What do you think?
When you say avid,
It's whatever your take on it is, Paliendo. Avid. Avid.
this is what I
As they
think.
would say in Israel.
This is I would submit the word avid for loyal.
That's a whole new can of worms.
I know.
I think loyalty is kind of spread across that's like a PB&J Sambo right there.
Listen, this is what I mean. Okay.
Okay.
For all the sports teams in Philly. Okay, every single one of them. You have loyalty for all the teams, and what I mean by that is, teams. When the Flyers run the playoffs, for example, a lot of people start talking about the Flyers. They don't talk about them all year round.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's not a loyalty meter.
Everybody starts wearing shirts and jerseys
You know why it is?
that doesn't wear them all year round.
It's because that sport takes intellect, all right, to follow.
Yes, it does.
And I don't want it to change for. It's the biggest cult sport out of the four major, and that's bar none. Okay, you don't need. First of all, you need to spend well over $300 if you want to get your kid in it. You don't just give them a round ball and tell them to go jump around. You know,
Well, this is what I mean. When I talk about bandwagon fans, and I'm not talking about front runners in other cities. I'm talking about bandwagon fans as far as being in Philadelphia, Philadelphians,
Mhm.
fans from this area. What out of all four sports, all four teams, who do you think would have the most bandwagon fans?
Well, it's definitely hockey. It's the Flyers, all right. But
Really?
the Phillies, yeah, the Phillies would. The Flyers for playoff only would be.
Playoffs.
The Phillies would be the most bandwagon in general because of. I mean, not in general. Pre-08, because those fuckers that like me and like you that were with them from '95 to 06 or 05. 06 is when they started to kind of get their spurs a moving. Why? What are you going to say? Eagles?
Eagles, absolutely.
No way, dude.
How many?
Everybody is a natural Eagles fan through and through. Football is not that hard a sport to comprehend.
Okay. Well, I just completely disagree with that. I think we should actually do maybe like a.
The Flyers are the most bandwagon because how many people, dude? And I'm telling you, dude, how many people have you ever heard that said, "Oh, I watch them in the playoffs"?
How many legitimate people can you
How
have
many
a
Eagles fans
real
do you hear say,
football
"I watch them in the
conversation
playoffs"?
with?
More than you can have a real hockey convo with. That's for fuck sure.
No, I'm talking like who can actually name like more than 5 Eagles? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Who can name more than 5 Flyers?
Who can? There are many
There
more.
are more people that can name more than 5 Eagles than 5
I think we
Flyers.
need to do we make a little bet here. I think is what we need to do.
I can guarantee it. Let me. What do you think? What is that? What do you think that? Who are the 5 immediate Eagles that would come to mind on a general Philly sports fan right now?
As far as if I interviewed anyone on the street,
Yeah, we're taking it to the streets, baby.
first of all, I think some people will still say Deshaun Jackson. To tell you the truth,
Sure, and that doesn't count right now.
Okay, well, you're going to go Nick Foles. You're going to go McCoy. You're going to go Riley Cooper.
I think you're done there. I don't think anyone. I think 50% of the people know who Riley Cooper is.
50%.
You
Even
think
after the
Riley
whole thing that
Cooper-
happened last
Riley
summer
Cooper is the third most
at the concert.
known. Yeah,
After everything he said, you don't think more people know about him now?
That's how. Well, okay. Who else? I think that there's others. You're proving how many. Like Riley Cooper, I think would be on 7th or 8th of people. People are going to say McCoy, Foles, right?
McCoy and Foles. They're going to say Macklin. They're going to say Cooper. Okay.
See, I still don't think Cooper's that high, but I got you.
Okay. After that, I just really don't think a lot of people know about the defense. That's just my own personal thing. What do you think?
You don't think people are going to say D'Amico Ryans or Connor Barwin?
Connor-
Or Trent Cole?
Trent Cole, yes, because he's been here forever. But
I bet you people would say Trent Cole before Riley Cooper off the top of their head. Well, maybe not.
no,
after all
I
that
don't
shit.
think so.
Maybe you got a
I
point
think
there.
people would definitely say Connor Barwin before they'd say just about anybody else out there.
But my point is that more people would know Eagles than Flyers.
Do you think people would still say Jason Avant?
Yeah, well, people would still say Brian fucking Dawkins.
You're proving my point about the
You
bandwagon
don't think
fans
that
for
if
the
you
Eagles.
asked people about the Flyers, they wouldn't say Lindros or Leclerc or Jeremy Roenick or
Oh no,
Forsberg?
absolutely not. That was forever ago.
Yeah, but I'm talking to people that don't know the team. That's why the Flyers are so cold.
Okay, so
There's 1 in 4 people are true, down-to-earth Flyers fans. And if you get one of those 4, they'll tell you what number Eric Weinrich wore.
so
All right?
number 2, by the way. Eric Lindros has been playing hockey then for the Flyers for 24 years.
That's what 75% of those motherfuckers will tell you.
I think we need to move on.
But then when the playoffs come on, guess what? Tad-ow, they
next
are
question.
on
Next question.
board.
Next question.
Get the fuck out!
All right, so I'm just saying, wait a moment. All right, well, let me move my highlight there. That means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, once again for your favorite part of the program. Option. It's once again a fucking shoot on that MET, Mandatory Eagles Talk bullshit that they do. Optional WNBA talk. Right across the table is Mr. Doug, and I would like to ask you, would you like to talk about the WNBA this week, my friend?
I will disrespectfully decline.
Wow. I don't know if I know what that meant.
For the record.
So,
Mandatory Eagles Talk is an acronym. What would the acronym be?
MET,
MET?
for the worst team in the world.
Isn't that a little bit of a violation?
Big time,
Yeah,
dude.
I think so.
Big time.
I think so.
Apparently a lot of other people do. So this will lead us in some segment acto, and we're going to start with now one segment we kind of omitted last week. Once again, out of the noggin of Doug, who are fresh, if you will. This is going to be called This or That. Hopefully, eventually, we will play Black Sheep's This or That at this time. But right now, we're just going to get into it. And this week, it is up to me to ask this. And Fresh, will you kind of just give a little bit of a rundown of what this segment will be? It's kind of
One of us
self-explanatory.
is going to ask the other one if they'd rather have this or they'd rather have that.
All right,
They're
well
gonna
done.
they're gonna be yeah. It's kind of that's it. I'm done talking.
Good. Wish that would happen more often. So it's good. It's a noggin scratcher, if you will. So would you rather have this or that? You ready? Would you rather? Now it's Flyers versus the world here because this is an orange and black.
This versus the world.
Would you rather
Sounds like a movie.
have from our point right now have the Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers win a championship and no cup for the Flyers, or a cup for the Flyers and no championship for the other three?
for the rest of my life?
No, just now. I mean, if you could just make it happen,
Oh
what
my
would you
God.
rather have? Would you rather have a cup and say, I got it, everything else is all hunky-dory? Or would you rather say, you know what, the cup might happen, let me take those other 3 champos and peace bounce the rest of my life? What do you think there, pal?
I actually know what I would do if I could just somehow play God and do this.
No, can't do it.
My answer is going to shock you.
I don't know. How so?
I'll take the 3 championships.
Whoa! All right. Damn,
For any of you,
if anybody's like laying in bed and is listening to that, I'm sorry.
for any of you who know me, if anyone who knows who I am, if you've ever had a conversation with me, you understand
Shocked.
that I'm a Flyer guy.
Let's break this down.
I love them. I will break
Let's
it down.
break it down.
I'm gonna break it down now.
Eagles win the Super Bowl. That's now out of a scale of 1 to 10 for the both of us. A cup is a 10. Now this is going to sound awful because we love Philly sports and we would die for any championship.
Yes.
Personally, for me, NBA championship is not even on my radar that much anymore.
Well,
it'd be fun, I guess, but
You gonna let me break this down?
cool. But I don't want to think that like
Okay. By far, this city is yearning for a Super Bowl.
Yearn.
Okay? Not, I mean,
yeah, but don't do it for them.
listen. I'm part of the city too.
It's snowing, baby. I'm a snowflake.
Apparently, championships don't count in the NFL before their Super Bowl started, even though we have a few of them.
We have one.
Are you sure about that?
We have one. 1960.
Okay.
One. Uno.
So,
Un.
in any event,
Uzbekistan.
we are. I would really like to see a Super Bowl here. I would really like to
Sure.
embrace what a Super Bowl would feel like this year. That was the question. That was the this or that, right?
Yeah, well, right now you can
Right
get all
now.
three. You know,
That's right. Now, the Phillies obviously have they have a. I don't want to say recent championship, but they do.
it's recent for us. Fuck, we haven't. That's the only
Yeah.
one we saw, pal.
So,
Me being 12 months don't matter.
in any event,
Sixers 83.
and the Sixers have been. Look, I admit to you, yes, I'm a Sixers fan, but my interest in the NBA itself is just
Waning
It's
by each and every second of every day.
disgusting. When you can allow the players in the NBA to team up and say, "Hey, I'm going to quit this team and I'm going to quit this team, and we're going to go over here and get paid
Sixers
a ton
traded
of
for
money."
Danny Grainer. What is he? Granger.
God.
What does he say? He goes, look, guys, do me a favor. I don't want to play for you. Buy me out, dude. Give me $8 million and I'll leave. And they go, oh, wait. Yeah. All right. Let's
So-
do that. And I can go play for a contender now and get paid more money. Oh, my word.
Get the fuck out.
But there are so many fans who care just as much about the Sixers as I do the Flyers.
Sure.
God, it has been forever since they have had something to celebrate. They came close in 2003.
Yeah. Well,
2001. Sorry.
they beat the Pistons in the first round of 08. That was fun. Not the
Oh,
first
yeah.
round, the one game. Sorry.
That's what you need to do. Win round one of the playoffs.
It wasn't even
every
round
year.
one. It was one game. I apologize.
I'm sorry. That was 2 games, actually. Didn't they win the first 2 games of that series?
I don't think so, because that would have meant that back then it was still a 5-game series. I don't think that they were up 2-0 and then they got swept after that.
It was a 5-game series back then still?
I don't really know for sure.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was, but by the way, and people go, they should change it back to that. Sure, it'd be great, but do you know what rules sports? Do re mi. Why would they ever change it back to a 5-game series? You idiots.
I don't know.
So people need to stop worrying about. You know when people go. You know what my favorite thing is in sports?
What is your favorite thing in sports?
One of my biggest fucking pet peeves. All right. You know what that baseball season, man, that's too long. That hockey season, they should really take like 10, 15 games out of the season. Yeah, you know what? You got a point. All right. They might think about it. You dopes. Who the fuck? Every game is money. Ever. Otherwise, they wouldn't go to 90 million teams. You got something to say?
Well, I thought we were going back to this or that, and you're kind of
Give me a fucking
going off a little bit.
leaf of olives.
Well, just to kind of, continue with your point.
Cool.
You look at
Okay.
the NFL. They have more injuries than anybody. Okay, it's the most physical sport there is.
Sure.
Okay.
That's obvious. Yeah.
Now, they're actually talking about adding games.
No, they're not talking about it. They're talking about when they're going to have the games.
Well,
it's happening, baby.
That's what. Look, it's not official yet. I'm trying to be polite, but it's not working. But
Not
here
for this
you
guy.
are. The NFL's getting
It's uncensored.
the NFL is getting sued repeatedly by past players because of concussions and all this type of shit that they didn't know about in the past, and all coming back to bite them in the ass. And this sport is actually talking about adding more games, again for.
Do re mi.
That's exactly what it's about.
It's always going to be about that. Let's not fucking fool ourselves here. This is what it's about. Deal with it. Understand it. And guess what? I have no fucking problem with every night from now until late September that if I go out to a bar on a whim with my wife on a Tuesday because I want to go have a couple, that I can look up 45 degrees and look at a fucking ball game.
I hear you.
So that's the way it is.
All right. Well, leading into our next segment.
Lean
then.
back. All right, sorry. If
So-
you get a whiff of that, I apologize.
In honor of the orange and black again, all fucking show long.
The 3.
Our 3 this week are going to be current NHL players who have been former Flyers.
I want you back.
That Jesus Christ, you just wish you're wearing the orange and black again.
Just wish you're wearing it, baby.
You wish you could just open your eyes and there they are skating on the ice with G and Jake and fucking Hartnell and oh my God, I fucking love it.
That's right.
So with this, I am going to ask my.
No, you're not. I started last week. You're going to start this week. What do you think about that, Maple?
Wow.
It's a sausage competition.
We'll see who wins, baby.
We will start at number 3, as we will always do.
Sure.
And
I want to know. Can you give me hints? Let's do hints here. I want to know because this is not. There is no pre-show. There is no pre-production of this motherfucker.
I'll tell you my number 3. When number 3,
You're just gonna straight tell me. What an ass.
when number 3 was no longer a Flyer, I was extremely disappointed
And horny.
in the front office and the GM.
Huh.
Okay, we acquired a guy who I still hate to this day. Never liked while he was a Flyer.
So we're talking recent.
We're talking within the last 5 years.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, any ideas?
Nope. Go
Nope.
for it.
Scotty Upshaw.
Oh, Scotty. See, you know what? Oh, he is a favorite among us group of friends.
Yes.
But Scotty Upshaw was a beast. All right. I'm so happy you said that because he's not on mine. I'll tell you that right now. On my top 3.
Scotty Upshaw was traded for who?
Scotty Upshaw was traded for. By the way, car bomb.
Yes.
Okay. The worst
What
insult.
was the reasoning for this?
the
Do you
worst
remember?
insult? Well, what do we just need an enforcer?
Cap space.
Dude.
The reasoning was to save
Poppy signed for like $800K for another team the year after. What do you want to Florida?
The reasoning was to save $400,000 of cap space to get a goon.
Meanwhile, that cat that was playing in the Frozen Four last week, he just signed a $4 million deal with us.
We could have picked up a Dan Carcillo anywhere along the way.
Dude, what a total asshole.
Absolutely.
By the way, do you know what the biggest insult ever to Scotty Upshaw is? You would say being traded for a.k.a. Dan Kordick, Dan Carcillo.
Dan Carcillo.
But guess what? It's not. He was traded with a pick. So
This
in
is-
other words, we gave, I mean, holy hell. Did we want to clear $400,000 that fucking bad?
No,
Gave him a pick too? I mean, it didn't turn out to be bull.
And
Oh.
Scotty made him bite the bullet a little bit too. He had 3 really good years in Phoenix. Okay, and
Rogan.
he got hit with some injury bugs. Okay,
Yeah, he's just a hustler, dude. He's a Philly player, dude. He's a Philly player.
and he's just good to have in the locker room. He's just an all-around good. He reminds me of kind of Shane Victorino a little bit.
I was just about to say, you know what that reminded me of? That locker room before we traded him was kind of like the Phillies that won the World
Yep.
Series. They
Yep.
were all boys. We're talking Richie, Carter, the whole 9. They were all boys, and that's you broke it up. You brought in some idiot with a stash who everybody loved because they were like, hey, it's Philly. We love fighting. No, you don't love idiots. I mean, Ronaldo, up until this year, I hated him. This year, he's really turned it around, and he's made smart. I mean, he's had shifts in which have created goals. But before this, he was just like Dan Carcillo, a waste of time and a ruiner of momentum.
Yes. Who's your number 3?
I'll tell you what, Uppy can make some fucking momentum. My number 3 just came out of my mouth. Number 18, former captain, Philadelphia Flyers. Michael Jack Richards, baby. Now, when this happened, okay, I'll never forget this day. I'm pretty sure you won't. This is like the Twin Towers, dude. You know when you heard that day when, first of all,
I know where I was.
This also is a correlation to Holiday Lee because it was a dick tease. Because I heard, I'll never forget, I heard Jeff Carter was traded, and I used to be a Voracek fan from the draft. So when I knew him in Columbus, and I knew he was kind of wasted talent. Now, by the way, I'm not saying I'm fucking Nostradamus. I thought that Pavel Brendel was going to be something, and we know what happens there. But when I heard that we traded Jeff Carter for Voracek and a pick that ended up being, do you know? Sean Couturier. So
You didn't give me any time.
Look, there's a big straight line there
We
of
could
your
have came back
nostril
to it.
fucking
Could have
sweat.
came back to it.
You're okay. So we can edit it out. Do you want to do that so we'll make it even shorter time?
We're wasting time now. Continue.
You are cute. So that's who we traded him for, and I was like, done deal. We're ready to rock and roll. 5 minutes later, this just in, Mike Richards traded to the Kings. Now, we got Simmer, fine.
And what was the rumor for Mike Richards being traded with Jeff Carter?
Probably Sea Isle. I don't know. The fuck? What was the rumor? Did they sexually molest someone?
They're always out clubbing.
Is that the? Yeah. Well. Yeah, but you got rid of one.
I know. I understand that, but that's what the rumor was. They weren't taking the team seriously. They were always out late. They were just more concerned about the fame about being a player
Pussy.
and than actually being a player. Now,
Pussy.
I like Mike Richards a lot. He's not on my top 3,
Cool.
but I can understand why he would be on yours.
I mean, you wouldn't talk about exemplary Philly players, dude. That dude put on that sweater and that logo went right through his heart, pal.
Yes, it
Now,
did.
Carter, you're a faggot, and I can't.
Absolutely. If we had a top 3 hated Flyers of all time,
Yep.
Jeff Carter would be one of my top 3.
Yeah.
He
big
was
time.
a frickin' douchebag.
You are a gay piece of trash.
Absolutely.
I mean, a very happy piece of trash.
Leads us into my number 2.
All right, Jeff Carter.
My number 2's first name also begins with a J.
Whoa.
Played for 3 different coaches from 2000 to 2002, 2003. And
Oh, wait.
and was traded to Carolina
Wait, oh my God. Are you serious?
on January 20th,
Holy
2004 for Danny Markov.
shit. Is it not pronounced with a J, though?
I don't know.
Is
Is
it
it?
pronounced with a Y?
What?
Like is
First
it
name we're talking.
Yanni?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Yanni Nienema. He was traded
Really?
from Markov.
Do you really think I miss Yanni Nienema?
That's why I went crazy. That's why I went nuts.
Justin Williams.
Oh my God, what a great call. Dude, you are a total asshole.
Justin Williams
That is absolutely correct.
played for Craig Ramsey, Bill Barber, and Ken Hitchcock.
Thanks
And
for
as
letting me
soon
guess.
as Ken Hitchcock got here,
Thanks for letting me guess.
got
By the way, Ken Hitchcock dealt my number 1 too, so you can wait for that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With his first year in Carolina,
I think it was Hitchcock.
do you know how many games Justin Williams played
With Carolina?
in his first year with Carolina? Now, wait, let me set this
Oh,
up.
he probably got injured.
Justin Williams had been
He did get injured a lot.
he got injured a lot
With the Flyers.
with his Flyers. Yes, he did.
Right.
He tore a ligament in his knee.
He was one of the very last Legion of Doom players, by the way.
Yes. He
Also, Mike Manilock was in
so
that.
it's kind of a little bit of bad luck for him. You know, if
Mhm.
he would have played full seasons and he would have put up numbers, maybe he would have stayed. Okay.
Sure.
But he didn't, and I understand that. But I love the guy, and my sister freaking loved him too. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I actually remember that.
Yes.
I do remember that.
How many games do you think he played with his first year with Carolina?
53.
All of them.
Oh, that's funny.
How many points do you think he had that year?
53.
76.
Wow!
Almost a point a game
Oh, my goodness.
in his first full year with Carolina. And by the way, how many Stanley Cups has he won?
I'm pretty sure he's at least 2. He's at 2.
He's at 2.
Kings and Hurricanes.
2 separate teams. He has
Yeah, and
won
you know what?
Stanley
And
Cups
he's
with.
had very, very crucial parts in both of those runs.
Big
I mean,
time parts.
he is a playoff performer.
Big time.
He's a
parts.
great regular, and you know that motherfucker is sexy too.
So Justin Williams, in the 0.04% chance that you're listening, I miss you.
That's a good chance that he's listening there, pal. Wow, you're giving yourself some credit. All right, well,
You kidding me?
I guess not. My number 2 was said last week, and I'll be a broken record for this guy till the day I die. And you know, it's another fail story where he didn't fail, but everybody thought he was going to in the upper management of the Flyers, and they just dealt him because they don't like this, and it's Sergei. If we had Bob right now for the last 2 years, first of all, Mason would have never happened. Which I love Steve Mason, I do, but I'm happy that they finally. I think it was time for them to just say, "Hey, we have to run with anybody." And they got Mason, and he kind of did a sufficient job, and they said, let's rock and roll. Now, if they would have said, hey, we got a Vezina winner, I think this guy might be a keeper. God, fuck. That would have been he'd be the perfect fit right now for us.
Well, look, you're a big segue because Bob's actually my number 1.
All right. I just sped up this program a lot.
Oh yeah, Bob was unfortunately looked down upon after some bad playoffs that he had.
No. Not played. I mean, you mean that one? Okay, I thought you meant playoffs like multiple seasons.
No,
he was only
no.
with us for one.
The
Right,
one
okay.
time, which he had actually been benched for.
I know.
Who is it?
Who? Bob
Yes.
Boucher?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Bobby Boucher.
then they felt the need to bring in the answer to that whole goaltending issue, which had to be our 9-year, $52 million man. And who was that?
Dude. By the way, I was the biggest fan of this guy back when he was on Anaheim. And when Anaheim waived him, I was screaming for us to get him in 06, okay? And Phoenix picked him up. And he was amazing for Phoenix up until he lost his lid. And we brought in Ilya, fucking Brizzy. And what happened? Now he's playing with the AHL or ECHL. He played with my old alma mater, Wranglers in Vegas, and now he's with the Oilers, and they finished the season. He did all right with the Oilers, but
It's in the woods.
so your number one is Bob, and I can't blame you on that because that's my number two.
I would love to
There's
have
one
him
guy
there.
you're missing, pal.
And?
There's one guy you're missing.
Who is it? Tell me.
Let me say a name and see if it rings a bell. Matt Ellison. Any idea who that is?
No, it does not ring a bell.
Okay. We traded Matt Ellison. I'm sorry. We traded for Matt Ellison to the Chicago Blackhawks for Patrick Sharp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like Patrick Sharp, but
He led their team in points this year.
yes, I know. I know these things.
Patrick Sharp's won 2 cups. All right.
Yes, he
He's
has.
He's been wearing an A for 4 years. He's a beast. That was under Hitch. I'm pretty sure.
I think also Patrick Sharp never played on better than the third line.
He was a bottom dweller, and
Yeah.
it was because they didn't like the certain. They would eat their own shit if someone told them that there wasn't anything to do with talent. I don't know. It's just a mess. I don't know why they do that kind of shit, man. Matt Ellison was a career AHLer, and he spoke up once in practice, and that's the Hitch regime. Now
I remember him now that you're saying
yeah.
this.
Now you might.
I remember his jersey.
And
I
it was
just see
great.
in my
He was,
head.
he was great with the Phantoms. Ellison
Yes.
was phenomenal when he came to us, but that's because he was a bullshit NHLer. But Hitchcock is the type of guy where it's like bare bones, dude. And I'm pretty sure Sharp was a Hitchcock defector, if you will. Nevertheless, that is our 3. I'm really looking forward to this next segment. Once again, we do On the Clock, where it's kind of just pulled out of your ass. Fresh, it's his turn this week. We alternate this, and basically what it is where he will give me a draft pick. I have to pick someone to play a position from another sport, or along those lines. And I'm really curious what you got right now. What do you say, Fresher?
Okay, Wood, you are drafting for a brand new football team, and
WCF, mates.
you're on the clock to draft a free safety.
Well,
Are you ready?
yeah. I mean, this is like so. In other words, I'm the Eagles.
Sure, why not?
Cool.
You must select any outfielder in MLB history to be your free safety. Go.
Oh man. See, now I'm going to get you through my thought process. All right. You need speed, obviously,
Yes.
but you also need strength.
And you probably need to be black.
And you probably need to be black. No, you absolutely. That's the number one prerequisite. All right, you have to be black if you want to be good and you want to be a free safety. You have to be black because Mike Zordich was 20 years ago and he wasn't that good. And you need speed, you need strength, but you also need smarts, my man.
Agreed.
And now we're talking about any of all time.
Yes.
Well, immediately what came to mind is Ken Griffey Jr. But I think he's a little too tall and thin.
Yes, I agree with you.
So I'm going to say Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
No, Willie Mays Hayes from Major League.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it. I was looking in his eyes, and I knew he was going to say, Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, person. I'll take Willie Mays Hayes, baby.
All right, fair enough. And,
Man, I want to know. I want to know the thought process behind that one.
Tune in next week when Brian asks me, "Am I on the clock?" I'm kind of curious to know what this is going to be.
Yeah, see, but the thing is, on the clock, the this or that is a lot easier to because you got 2 questions, you got to answer one.
On the clock is anything.
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean,
Yes.
that's. Let me think about that for a second. I'll tell you what. I'm
Tell
going to go ahead and think a little bit more about that. Right now, how we end every show is a segment called The Pulse. Tell them what The Pulse is for the first-time listeners, and also give a Pulse story, my friend.
All right, for those of you listening for the first time, we end all of our shows with a segment called The Pulse. Pulse is a segment that justifies us diehard Philly fans, hard-working Philly fans, as not being what the national media all perceives us to be. Just all bad guys, people who boo all the time, people who are just frickin' scumbags and throw snowballs
Throw
at Santa
shit
Claus.
and-
Fuck you all.
Now, let me say
okay?
one thing, all right? The thing about the Pulse is that a lot of Philly sports fans will say, I don't fucking care what people think about us. I got news for you. Yes, you do. You do. All right? Because I was one of those guys for a while. I don't give a fuck. You know, Missinelli's kind of that guy, too, speaking of him earlier. Like, look, who cares? Just get over it. I got news for you. You're really not a true Philadelphia sports fan if you're getting trashed. Like, if someone starts talking about your fam, are you going to get pissed off? Fucking right you are. Well, that's what this is. Giddy up.
So we had a message this week from Ron, and Ron writes us. He was at a Flyers game in 1988.
Thank you, Ron. Wow.
1988, 89. He couldn't give an exact date. He said Paul Stewart was the referee that night, and
Oh, my God, Paul Stewart.
oh my God, Paul Stewart is
Holy
right.
shit.
That's when Dave Brown was on the team.
There he is.
Remember Dave Brown?
Do I remember Dave Brown? That dude would punch a fucking...
I'm just, hey, I it's a rhetorical type of question. I mean, he's, oh my God, I love him.
Is that how you pronounce it?
A tangent, if you ever want to kill some time, YouTube Dave Brown fights and get a laugh, my friends.
Oh, that's a destroyer right there, pal.
So Ron writes us that he was at the game sitting in the third row, and there's a face-off in the Flyers' offensive zone, and Brown setting up for the face-off, and Stewart just happens to kind of skate and glide, bend over, and kind of trips Dave Brown. He falls. So, jokingly, Ron yells, "Get him, Dave!" Because at that point, Dave was known as a type of guy who was going to beat the shit out of you for absolutely anything. Anything. Looking at him wrong.
Yep.
Just whatever. If you guys remember Dave Brown, I hope to fucking God you do.
Orange and a black.
Anyway, Paul Stewart turns around, said he turned around to him and just smiles and laughed. Just being just a normal hockey fan, just knowing that he makes eye contact with one of the fans here in Philadelphia, even given the horrible reputation that we get. A referee here in hostile waters, or whatever the hell you'd want to call him in air quotes, makes eye contact with him and just smiles and laughs at him and be like, yeah, whatever. That just goes to show you on a professional level too, and not just like a fan level, that referees in these sports as well, they don't think Philadelphia's that bad. We're just an average fan, just like every other city out there, just like a Cincinnati or a New York or Miami or
It's like
Los
going
Angeles.
to a movie. It's like going to a movie. Do you want to go to a boring one, or do you want to go to an exciting one?
That's right.
So refs love coming here, and that's been put down on pen and paper, baby. They like coming here because it's exciting. Hey, we're well past the point of having a fear about shit hitting you in the head while you're skating down the ice, or you're running, you're calling a home balls and strikes at home.
Absolutely.
You like going to places that are exciting.
Yes.
Why get into something?
Why do anything in life if it's not exciting?
Exactly.
Right.
So
Why do we buy tickets to go see events like this? Because we're expecting excitement. We're expecting the unexpected to happen.
imagine getting paid to do your job and go to someplace that's exciting.
I can't follow you anymore.
Cool. Did you just say that? And I just said it again.
It's just we want to pay to go see a Roy Halladay perfect game, or Roy Halladay no hitter, or a goalie score a goal in the playoffs.
I gotcha.
We want to see these
Don't
things.
you fucking understand?
But is that someone's phone? Guess what? I got a new on the clock answer.
Oh, we're back to that.
Well, I mean,
Hurry up. We got 42 seconds.
sure. Well, hey, 42.
That's your number, that's why I said
So, let me just give this. All
Sir
right.
Billy.
So, when it comes to center fielders, right, that you want to be a free safety, I'm just
I
talking.
said outfielder, not center fielder.
All right, outfielder doesn't matter. I'm thinking about someone who's going to knock the fuck out of you and run through you. And guess what? Ain't black, baby.
Black.
Lenny Dykstra. Nails, baby. That motherfucker run right through you. He might not hit you, but if he does, look out, because your teeth are on the ground. Teethies. That's what happens when that Lenny Dykstra runs right through you. All right, folks. So guess what? We're going to end this on time. I'm kind of excited about that.
I don't know. I don't know if I have enough time.
I don't know if I have enough time. Maybe we'll add that to the drop. Hey, if you have any good drops that you think, sound drops you think we should add, hit us up on Twitter. Actually, just just hit us up on Twitter. Just follow us at UnansweredPts.
Tell us you hate us. Tell us to
you
go
hate
fuck
us.
off. Tell us to never make another fucking podcast again.
Absolutely.
Tell us to delete our Twitter accounts, delete our Facebook accounts.
Text-
We want to hear from you.
Text Doug Fresh at 267. All right. Facebook.com/unanswered.points. UnansweredPts at Gmail. But the new thing, folks, go to YouTube. Type in literally unanswered points. Just type it in, baby. We'll be the first people up there, and we're going to rock and roll from here on out. This is what we do, and we're going to do it every fucking week. All right? If you got a goddamn problem with it, you tell us. If you don't have a problem, fucking tell us.
And like I said earlier, send in your story about the Pulse. Please, we want you guys to tell us firsthand what you've seen, what you've experienced, prove to the rest of the fucking nation exactly who we are and the type of fans we are.
Yeah, we had it was awesome. One show, and we had one guy come back and say, "Hey, this is my story, and guess what? Let's spread this around the world." Because I guarantee you, right now, we're on YouTube and all that. You don't have to listen to it this week. You can listen to it next week, and a year from now, and 2 years from now. But let's spread the word on how we rock and roll here, and giddy up. Anything to say there, Freshie?
Stay sexy.
Okay, that was to me. To everybody else, you can't stay as sexy as me. Peace out. See you next week. Giddy up.